Today, I have in a watch from a brand that has quite the history. It's a brand that I'd heard of before, but really hadn't gone down the rabbit hole of learning more until this arrived the other day. The watch is the Legacy Azure from Shanghai Watch Company, and this has something happening with it you don't often see on a watch. Now, this watch was given to the channel and does not have to be returned, but like always, the company has no say when it comes to the content of today's video. So let's get to it and check it out. All right, so this might be hard to believe, but this is technically not a blue dial watch. If we flip it to the side, you can see it's a blue crystal. And how cool is that? First time ever seeing a watch, at least in person, with a colored crystal like this. Bit of a background on the brand before we get into the watch, though. So, Shanghai Watch Co. was founded in 1957 and released its first 100 watches the following year, which sold out immediately. Their A581 movement was the country's first mass produced watch movement. They eventually had to change direction during the quartz crisis and focused more on movement manufacturing than entire watches, but in recent years have done a restructure and are back to creating watches. Just really scratching the surface here, but they were a major producer of watches in China, and it said that at one point, 1/4 of Chinese watch wearers were wearing a watch of theirs. This watch, the Legacy, is available in a few options. There's a total of 3 different versions with colored crystals like this, a yellow and a salmon. And after that, there's more traditional versions with a clear crystal and more typical dial colors. To the watch here, though, this particular model, and I really like the effect with the blue crystal. Great way to perfectly match the date wheel to the dial. Up top is the building shaped logo inspired by the Chinese characters for Shanghai, then Shanghai printed below that. Down at the 6 o'clock, there's some more text that translates to 28 joules, and I believe made in China, if Google Translate is telling me the truth. The applied markers and the hands are really well finished, and the hands have that fold, so they tend to catch the light on one side or the other, which helps keeping them from blending into the dial. Clean dial layout overall, and also a beautiful sunray finish. The case is fully polished and has good finish work here too. The case takes inspiration from one of their earlier 7120 models. It's a really nice vintagey style. The case back is a screw down case back with the company logo in the center. It's my understanding they still make their own movements, but this is running on the Seagull ST2130, which is a 28 joule movement beating at 28,800 vibrations per hour and with a power reserve of approximately 42 hours. Winding action of the signed push-pull crown is pretty good. I kind of wish it was just a little bit bigger for grip. It's a nice size looks-wise, but a slight increase in size would make it easier to use. Two things that caught my eye immediately when I first got this watch. One, obviously, the crystal. Very cool. But the second was the strap. This is a perfect look for the watch with that matching blue stitchwork against the gray leather. The buckle is signed with the company logo. We do also have quick release spring bars. The quality of the leather seems quite nice, but we'll see how it stands up over time. Size on the watch comes in at a case width of 38.8 millimeters. The lug to lug is 45.1 millimeters. Lug opening is 20 millimeters, and the thickness is 11.2 millimeters, including the domed sapphire crystal. The water resistance is 50 meters. And here it is on my 7.25 inch wrist, and this wears great. And one other little bonus, it's been bringing me some good luck. I've worn it the last 2 games of the World Series, and my Jays have won both. They're going back home for Game 6 tomorrow, which will be the day this video actually comes out. So I'll be wearing it again for that. But very striking look with the blue crystal. And if it's maybe a little too striking, there is the usual black, greens, blues, more typical versions too, and also some models that come on a steel bracelet. Cost for this comes in at $549 USD, but check the site at the moment. There's a 10% discount. Not sure how long that'll go, but as of the time of recording, it's there. Link to the site will be below. Appreciate you taking a few minutes to stop by, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.